Thank you so much for joining ExCo Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Meredith, and my husband, Herschel.
I'm Herschel, by the way.
We are interviewing today the beautiful Asia. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
Yes, I have been very interested in interviewing you when you reached out to me on social media a couple years ago. That's how we met.
Yeah.
And yes, I've been following you since. So, Asia, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you're from New York, right?
Yep, born and raised.
What part of New York? When did you move back, or when did you move to PA? Give me a little history about you.
All right, quick story. So I'm from the Bronx.
Okay.
I've been out here since 2017.
Okay.
And I started doing hair in 2014.
Okay.
So I went to a Veda Institute in New York and Soho. Absolutely loved it. Worked at my first salon on Fifth Avenue. Absolutely loved that. Then I transitioned to another salon that I absolutely loved. Total different ends of the spectrum. And then I moved out here and I stopped doing hair because I needed to
build your base here.
Build my base here, start over and just focus on the transition because I had one child at the time.
Okay.
And then I was like, I miss doing hair. I started doing it in the kitchen. My mom was like, you got to get out. You can't do it here anymore.
Right.
So
Pull the mic closer to you.
I found
there you go.
this suite by accident.
Okay.
And I was just like, wait, this is not the suite that I actually wanted to go and visit, but everything felt right.
Yeah.
So I started doing hair again. Don't tell me how I built my clientele because I think about it till this day and I don't know.
I think I know.
What?
I think that having faith and just putting your stuff out on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I met you, it was like you're easy to get along with, I just think that having faith is plays a big part in it. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely a big part of it because I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I had no clients.
It's scary.
Very scary. And I was just like, how am I going to transition and raise my girls? Now I have two. So I'm just like, how am I going to do all of that and start all over with zero income? And so literally it's been a faith walk the entire time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it continues to be a faith walk because I'm still like, how the heck is this happening? Now I'm on a podcast. I'm on y'all podcast. And I'm like, 2 years ago, if you would ask me this, I wouldn't have thought about it at all.
What are your specialties?
Ethnic hair, of course, textured hair, extensions. Absolutely love doing extensions.
Okay.
I love enhancing people's natural curl pattern. And
are you wearing extensions, or is that?
I am. These are faux locks. I'm not gonna take off my hat because
no, I don't want you to. It's probably gonna be messy.
It's been
but what are faux locks? Who did it for you? Did you do it yourself?
No, my twin sister.
Oh my gosh.
So she does it as a hobby. So I was just like, can you do my hair?
Open up a salon with your sister. What are you guys doing?
She is total opposite.
Okay.
When you think of twins, you would think that we're probably one and the same. Total opposite. She works for the older. She helps to protect the older people, if you will. So,
okay. Like their
opposite.
advocate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so very, very different.
What brought you to PA from New York? Just prices?
Quality of life.
Quality of life,
yeah. I said I'd never raise my kids in New York.
In the city.
It's not the place. I didn't grow up anywhere bad, but it's just it's changed over the time. So it's when I go back, I'm like, how the heck did I do this? Why would my parents raise me here? So I was just
well, I'm sure it was so different then, too. Wasn't it different then?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying it like she's old or something.
I think I'm older.
She's like, was it different then, back
34.
in the day?
I'm older than her.
Oh, okay, I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying because, even in the past 10 years, times have changed so much.
So much. Even
so
3.
much. Yeah, especially, how did you deal with COVID, with working and stuff?
So before I went back to doing hair, I actually worked in the hospital as an administrator. And I was doing that for 4 years.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
In the Bronx?
Yeah. No, out here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was one of my first jobs out here, working at the hospital. And I worked during COVID the entire time, 1 week on, 1 week off. It was the most solemn. The air was different. Everybody was different. The vibe was different. You come in the house, you have to go straight to the bathroom and shower. You can't say hi. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then it's oh my gosh, what if I bring something home? So it was navigating through all of that was it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't maybe like 10 generations from now, that something like that could happen when I'm not here anymore. But I don't wish that on anybody.
Well, I mean, your family will still be here because your legacy will be here, and as it goes down.
That's true. But
what did you say? 20 years? 30?
Like in like generations from now.
She said generations from now.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
wanted to, you know.
Yeah.
But I have some questions because I want to back up a little bit because she started talking about in the beginning. So when did you know that you wanted to do hair? Like, is there that little girl that was like playing with like Barbie dolls or like what was that thing that got you into hair? Because of course you could have went like other routes, like working on cars or something like that.
Yeah.
So what was that thing that got you into like, I want to do hair?
So I always, my sister and my mom will tell you, like, I would cut my doll's hair, cut my mannequin's hair, and they're like, it's not going to grow back. But I didn't think anything of it. I never in a million years thought I would be a hairstylist. Like, I wanted to follow my mom's path because she worked for Chase, and she was, like, up in the ladders there, assistant vice president and things like that. So I was like, Mom, I want to be like you.
Your parents are beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm like, I want to be like you when I get older. She's like, no, don't do what I do. Politics is crazy. You don't want to deal with any of that. And so I was just like, you know what? I went to college just to appease my parents. And still, I was just like, this is not for me. Corporate is not for me. Like, I don't want to dress like I'm going somewhere every single day.
I could never.
Right, because I like to express myself. So my brother passed away, and I was just like, what the heck am I going to do with myself?
How did he pass away?
Heart problems.
Terrible.
Yeah, he had an aneurysm, and it was random. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And we've gotten better, with dealing with it.
When did that happen?
I want to say about 13 years ago.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like getting emotional. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's
no,
awful.
don't. Yeah. We've definitely coped, and my coping mechanism was staying busy.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I going to do with myself?
Yeah.
How am I going to stay busy? Like, what am I going to do that I love and that I could say I love 10 years from now?
Right.
So I went to Aveda Institute, super random. I was like, what am I getting myself into?
Aveda is, because that's like, you only use Aveda. So an Aveda is a brand of hair color. And like, if you're using products, don't they call it like an Aveda Concept Salon?
Yes.
Like, you have to use all their products. You can't use any other.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
and it was like extremely earthy and
It's good
very
for like,
clean.
yeah, it's all natural ingredients.
Yes. So I said, you know what? Let me go to the Institute, see how I like it. Everything flowed. So, me and my faith, I'm just like, everything happened so naturally as if I'm supposed to be here at this time.
Yeah.
So I did it. I loved the entire process. I was there part-time. And literally, when I say everything flowed. They a lot of the teachers knew that I was a little bit different from everybody else because of my skill that I didn't know I had.
Okay.
So I have a photogenic memory.
Right.
So it's like if they taught me something or showed me how to do it, I could do it right back.
Okay.
And I didn't really know that
you were that gifted in being able to do that.
Right. And I never thought about, hair being a career. So I was just like, this is like, okay. And then I found out I love it.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I don't feel like I'm working.
Because you get to make people feel pretty.
Exactly.
And you get to make money and buy a Porsche. I said you get to make people feel pretty and buy a Porsche.
Oh, of course. She has a Porsche, ladies and gentlemen.
my God.
And she said I can drive it when
Asia.
we're done here. I'm going
I'm sorry.
drive it all around. I can't wait. I only had a little bit of that beer.
Just tell him to shut up.
So I'm listening to your story a little bit, and I hear that you're a mother, of course. And are you a single mother?
I am.
So like you're a single mother. You have two.
Yeah, two girls.
And you have your own business. So how do you manage all of that? Like doing with your girls, your business, just being a woman, not saying it's a bad thing, but just
Yeah,
It's
what does that mean, being a woman?
well, I just
Well, I feel like men in general can't do what we do. So it's like being a woman is like you're a superhero type of thing.
absolutely.
Is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
Absolutely.
Is that where you
And
were
especially, well, it's
I hope so.
well, what I meant by that is that we can't have
Yeah.
children, right? And most of the time, especially in our culture, there's more single mothers,
Yeah,
right? So,
unfortunately, yeah.
I'm asking as a black man, like, how are you holding it down? Like, how are you managing? Like, what do you do to like cope through the process? Because I know when people sit down in your chair, like, you know, to have those different energies in there, you know what I mean? What they go through in their life, you could probably carry it. So how do you manage it all?
You know what? I never thought about it because I feel like I don't bring that home. I've gotten to a place where I'm sorry, but not all money is good money. So I definitely protect my energy and, like, whoever comes into my suite.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Like you're quick to refer people out.
Yeah.
Like.
So you basically fire clients, like,
Well,
without them knowing
fire.
they're fired.
Not I wouldn't say fire, but
Chuck them to the weeds.
Well, no, she just won't take on a client if it's not
Chuck 'em
good
to the
energy or.
like
If they're not vibing, so you gotta go. I'll refer you to this person over here.
That's so important because it's just like you don't want to be around someone who pulls from you because it's like how you gonna be you when you go home. So just like certain people, I just
Your
can't.
family is very supportive, though,
And they
too,
are.
right?
So just like I have everything that I'm able to do is because of my parents. If it wasn't for my parents and my village that my girls have, I don't even know how I would be able to like do any of what I'm doing today. Because there's times where I'm at the suite for a long time. My mom, she'll call me, do I need to pick up the girls? Yeah. Yeah. Or I
Can
have
she be my mom?
Listen, my mom is everybody's mom. You come
Yeah.
into my house and into my family, you're like, hey, mom.
Yeah.
And everybody's like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you want my mom?
Share her, please.
Yeah, I could share.
Okay.
But she's like, my mom, my friends, they're amazing. I'm just like, to this point where I'm like, how did I get so blessed to like have the circle that I have? Because it literally makes everything else so much easier. Yeah, so I protect my energy, super important, and I have my village that allows me to do it all.
Do you have a preference, because obviously, Black people have different textured hair.
White people do too.
Well, I'm different. Like let me say this better.
I'm offended.
Do I have to be politically correct?
I need a
I
safe
hope that
place.
Asia and my husband know where my heart is. Okay.
No.
I need a
I totally
therapy
get it.
dog
Yeah,
right
like I feel like, yeah.
You
I feel
understand.
like she's racist. That's what I'm feeling.
No. See, I understand her because we're in the
don't
same
understand
profession.
So
Yeah.
because there's just different textures, you approach situations differently. Do you have a preference? Because I know that you work with all types of hair. And honestly, I think that gives you a step up. Like, I think that you're, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say you're a better hairdresser than me, okay? Because
You're a better hairdresser than me.
But I think that you just have more experience because I think that if you can do textured hair, then you sure as hell can do not so much texture.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yes. My first salon, it was Frederick Fakai. I don't know if you're familiar with him,
No.
but Frederick Fakai, he's like super duper. He had his own product line.
Okay.
Had a few salons in New York, and whoever wanted to be in his salon. Like the rooftop of Henry Bendel on Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
Near all of the stores that you want to be at.
Right.
And the only kind of clients for the most part, 99.5% of the clients, European hair.
Okay.
So I learned European hair first.
Okay.
And it's not as easy as you think.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with us, our hair, yes, products are different and techniques are different, but you approach European hair much differently.
Because I guess anything is easy when you know what you're doing.
But it's like you don't think about the cowlicks. In our hair, you don't think about cowlicks. You just take the blow dry and blow. But then
All as I know is I messaged you and I'm like, Asia, I fucked up this girl's hair. It took me 10 hours when it should have taken me 3. Like, what did I do wrong? She's like, oh my gosh, like, you need to brush it first. Like, you can't just go in and clarify the shit out of it. And I'm just like, I am fired. I'm never doing it again.
So, like, going back to that, like, I think about things, how to do things better. And, you was doing the keratin, which was A-okay. But me, I was just like, oh, with the keratin, you can't really, like, add hydration and all this other stuff. So it's like, everything you did was fine. Like, as I thought about it, like, when I think about it now, because I just learned how to do a keratin not too long ago.
Okay.
I thought about our conversation.
Right.
And I was just like, wait. So how you did it was fine. It was probably something that was missed that could have been a little bit better.
No,
but,
I just didn't know that she still had tape in her hair.
Well, that is crazy. And that's not even, sometimes, like, yes, we have to take accountability, but the client kind of has to take accountability too, and like
What, telling me that she still had tape in her hair?
Yes, that's like so important because when I get clients that's like, oh, Anna had this kind of color. Oh, I was born with this color.
Right.
And it went back to this color, which is why it lips to that color.
Yeah, well, it's my fault because I didn't ask all the questions. So, but
at the same time, right, that's all we have to do. But yeah, that's just like.
Do you prefer doing textured? Or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. Okay. I love doing it all. I have a handful that's European hair.
Right.
And I absolutely love it because it's different.
Yeah.
Than what I'm doing all the time. So it doesn't really matter to me.
Aren't you proud of me that I started doing lace closures?
I am. And it looks so realistic and it looks so good.
I'm still learning, like anything. But you're, like when you do it with the braids and then that. But I feel, I don't know, I feel like that might be more damaging on European hair.
Well, I mean, it's all in the technique. So, like with me, like I can braid it down.
But then you have that other client that I sent you, and she has European hair, and you do the braids on her. So.
Well, I actually started doing what is it called, that you do now?
The late mesh integration.
Yes. So I do that on her now.
Oh,
yes.
cool.
Yes.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, that's another way to approach extensions. Yeah. But it's
Does she like it better?
It depends on how she's doing in that moment.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes...
It was a trick client.
Exactly. Right. So it's like, it all depends on... Trichotillomania?
Trichotillomania.
Yeah.
Trichotillomania.
So it's like, it all depends on how much hair she has.
Okay.
And if she's like moving in in a good direction.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I would have known about the mesh integration prior to the braid down...
You probably would have started with that.
Started with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another stylist that I saw using mesh integration, and I was like, what is that? I need to do this. Where do I take the education? Because there's nothing in the States.
Right, and everything is overseas.
Yes, it is. So I did the Jacqueline Moss training.
Which is absolutely amazing.
Thanks. Yeah. But I think that it was a very good class, but I also think that because it is a high-risk service, there's mistakes that can be made, and I made, like it's like a huge learning curve.
Everything is a learning curve.
It is.
And plus it was like your first time ever doing anything like that.
Exactly.
So it's just like,
you're probably like, oh, this is pretty good.
No, because I'm like, the clients, like, we'll have a conversation, and it's just like, I feel like our profession is like STEM.
What do you mean?
Like science.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of it.
Engineering, math, like literally. They're like, you have to like, this part here is balding, but you have hair here. And then it's like, you got to make everything make sense. And they're telling you what you want. You got to like come up with these things in your head. And then like
physics
see it.
too, like with the drag and all that stuff.
And I'm just like.
Not all hairstylists do that, by the way.
What?
So hats off to you. That just shows that you care when you're looking at the scalp.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the health of the scalp. Not all stylists do that because a lot of stylists are in it for the money.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You gave something away earlier.
Oh, my God. I have pictures from clients, from other stylists. When you're saying that for you, it's like, the energy that you bring in. Also, like, you're not going to make the money your God in your life. So that says a lot about your character is the fact that you definitely care about the scalps, or all you females out there that have textured hair, men's scalps too. I guess I haven't had a male client.
Are you bald up under that hat?
Yes, I am. I am bald. I mean, trying to see my hair. We're going to do hat for hat. Is that what you're saying? Take off hat. Is that where we're at now?
No.
I'm not trying to take off my hat right now. I didn't cut my hair. You know what I'm saying,
Asia's
Tony?
hair is very short.
But anyway, I guess. So I wanted to ask you. As far as being how long have you been a salon owner?
Salon owner, 2 years.
2 years now?
Yeah, we're approaching 2 years.
So how is it being a salon owner? I guess I take it that you're in love with doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, I guess all dreams come true because she's driving a Porsche now. So I would imagine 2 years ago she wasn't driving a Porsche. So now she's driving a Porsche.
When I saw it on your story, I was like, did I tell you?
No.
Oh. I was like, oh my God, she's got a Porsche. Like, I just saw a Porsche logo on her steering wheel.
Dreams come true, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, I still can't believe I
What were you driving before the Porsche?
A Nissan Sentra.
Nissan Sentra to a Porsche?
But it was a 2021.
That's all right.
Fresh off the lot.
The nicest car I ever had was a Mazda, and then I decided to buy an Audi Q8, and then I was like, I'm too broke. I can't afford this.
Listen, no. So, I'm going to tell you, I have my Porsche, right? And I'm trying to be low-key about it.
How can you
Don't
be low
share
key
it on your
driving a
story
Porsche?
then.
You can't be low key driving no Porsche.
I just shared the steering wheel. You know, people see.
People know what it
maybe
is.
she's in somebody else's car.
No, you're not going to take a picture of somebody else's car and share it. Like, get out of here.
But like I was talking to my parents because I have like goals and other things I want to do. So I'm just like, how can I have this car if I don't have this? But it's just like, it's okay because it's a testament of where you're gonna go.
Were they okay with you getting the Porsche?
Oh, my pops was like, he was a little on the fence about it because he's like, it's a European car.
It's expensive to get
It's expensive
fixed.
to keep up and all this other
Gas
stuff.
alone, gotta get good gas.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But think about this, Pop, right? Where you've been at and to where you're at now, right? So, all good things come to those that, right, faithfully wait and, patiently wait. And now you're driving a Porsche, so who knows what you're going to be driving next, right?
Exactly. So I'm like, I can't go back
Take
to
me out of
nothing
your
else.
Porsche.
But I said that to say, don't ever think how you just thought about the
Yeah.
Audi, because.
No, but I literally couldn't. Like, I had to trade it in.
Oh, well, your next car could be a better car.
No, like, my car payments were disgusting. They were like $1,300 a month.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. It was, like, so expensive.
Wow.
Yes. It drove like a Porsche.
Uh-huh.
It was a big SUV Q8, but I was like,
Yeah.
I moved into a bigger suite. At the same time, I just decided to buy this car. We might have to sell our house, babe. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway.
But you could definitely have the desires of your heart, so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
2 years ago, are you saying you didn't have any clients 2 years ago when you
No.
started your salon?
No.
And you went into this just on faith alone,
Literally.
right? So what was that like for you? Stepping out in faith, not having any clients. You mentioned, I think, before the show that you don't know how you got the clients. So I'm going to ask you, what were you doing to actually bring those clients on? Were you creating content? Do you have a website? Like, how do you think that the clients started coming to you?
So it was definitely, I want to say more like referrals, word of mouth. So I really, I still try to think about it till this day because I'm just like, I really don't know how I got to this point. I posted on Instagram. I would only post on Instagram. I started to post on TikTok. And
Oh, yeah, you have a pretty good TikTok, too.
and I'm just
have
like,
to
I
post
don't
more
really
on there.
care for all of that.
Yeah,
that's not my thing.
I know.
So
I think it's
like
our age group, too. The younger kids have it so
Right.
much. They're,
I'm just like, how, I had my friend actually do my Instagram from the beginning.
Oh, that's
Because I'm just like, I didn't want to do this.
I get it. You're a hairdresser. You're not a social media
right.
producer, whatever.
But you do it now?
Right. Yeah, I kind of took a step back because I'm just like, I don't want to do the content all the time just to get to where I want to go. Like, why can't I just do my thing?
Because of the times that we're living in?
I know, I can't stand it. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm getting a little bit older. I took the notifications off my phone because I don't want to be distracted by it.
I should do that.
And
I
I
spend
check
way
it.
too much time on
And
my phone.
I had to catch myself, because my girls would be like, Mom. And I'm just like, I'm not present.
Right.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I took it off my phone. I think the word of mouth, definitely getting in contact with the right people and doing their hair. Not realizing one person know 50 other people. And those 50 other people start to come and see me. And then they branch out and they go to somebody, they tell someone else and they come to see me. And it was just my prayer was women of integrity, which I definitely have. And they're Black women who are athletic directors.
So they know people too.
They know people and a part of the Allentown School District. And
Your kids go to Parkland, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You have European women, you have Caucasian women. I've seen
I have
some
a
of your
couple,
work.
yeah. And they're they do their thing too. And it's just I also pray for families. So I have families that come to see me, generations of families. So that's how I started to get my clients. Yeah.
I'm proud
That's
of you.
awesome.
Thank you.
I am too.
Thank you.
That's
It
awesome.
makes me feel good to, hear some of your story, hear some of your background, to see where you're at, to see where you're at now.
Yeah.
And, to go from a Nissan Sentra to a Porsche, I'm still stuck on that. That's very impressive.
I know when the person dropped the car off, they're like, this is a big upgrade.
So because what we do, we're in hopes of a lot of aspiring hairstylists that want to know how to get into the business or want to know how they can build up their clientele. what would you say for the younger people, or actually not younger people, anyone that's aspiring to be a hairstylist? What do you think those steps are, to owning your own business, to go from a Nissan Sentra to a Porsche? Like, what do you think those steps are?
Absolutely nothing wrong with starting from the bottom. Like, I started as a shampoo assistant. I could not touch anybody until about 2 to 3 months of just straight up shampoo and hair.
That sucks. I would hate that.
I mean, it was a process, and I didn't really know that was the process. But this is 10 years ago?
Right.
That I started to do hair. And, today is so different that the girls or the guys who's in beauty school, they're much more advanced than we are. So it's like they leave the school and want to go straight behind a chair, not realizing you have to grow.
But with their skill level, I think that they are able to do it. It's just that you got to find the people to sit in your chair.
I mean, that's the thing. But, me personally, I just feel like starting with the shampoo, since that's the most important, you get to learn about the products.
That's my
and
least
what works
favorite
for who.
part. I hate shampooing. Sorry, clients.
No, listen, to each his own. But, doing our hair, Black people hair, and once I started doing it, I was like, y'all are difficult. Like, y'all a lot of work. Shampoo can,
It is. It's so tiring. And how
Oh
don't
my
your
gosh.
wrists hurt?
Right,
Like,
and
that
then-
round brush.
I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is really what it is. European hair, 2 seconds, and you're done. Our hair, you're at the shampoo bowl. Probably you can be at the shampoo bowl
10 minutes.
up to 60 minutes. If you want to, depending on the service.
Well, I guess because of conditioning treatments and
The treatments, and then you have to detangle. It's a process. You got to detangle, multiple shampoos.
Are
can't just do
you
one.
detangling before you get them to the shampoo bowl, though?
I do, depending on the hair. If the
Yeah.
hair is already stretched out and everything, I don't have to.
Right.
Yeah. But definitely, it's okay to start from the bottom. It's okay to start as a shampoo assistant. It's okay to assist and learn and know the customer service part of it. Because a lot of the new generation lack that.
I know. They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. So to learn all of that and then eventually get yourself in a position to where, because when you assist, you gain the trust of clients. And in return, they don't mind following you.
Right.
So if you do all that, then you can go and see about your own business, do that part-time, and build yourself up. But you have to persevere and know that it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah. And I think in today's instant gratification days, everybody just wants everything right away.
And don't look at social media because that could definitely mess you up.
Well, please help me not do it because I look at social media way too much. It's not good for me.
Yeah, in the beginning when I started doing hair, I was just like, why do I see these people with so many followers and no shade, but the work is not the best.
Don't you think it affects your self-esteem?
It does, which is why I
does.
had to backtrack a bit.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty sad and pathetic that it does, but it does.
Right. So I'm just don't be in the hype of social media because it's all fake.
It is.
Yeah.
So for all you hairstylists that are aspiring to, make that extra cheddar bob, when I'm listening to Asia, what she's saying is that it takes time, work on your craft, work on yourselves during the process. Don't rush it because I've seen, when Meredith is on her social media, she shows me different people that are putting their content out there. I can't speak about this enough. For someone that doesn't know anything about hair that much, I see junk. I see junk out there. I see people that rush through stuff. I see people that just want to put content out there. They don't care what it looks like. And I could appreciate someone like this that actually cares about someone's scalp, especially our people as well, to take the time at the bowl and to basically finesse it. So you're up and coming rising star in Lehigh Valley, especially
I hope so.
Working on textured hair.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying. I can see big things for you, and I personally think I don't even know what you charge for your service. You should go up. You should raise your prices. I'm just saying because you deserve that. I'm serious because especially when you have someone sitting down in your chair and when they trust you and when they know that you're going to take care of them because that's what it's all about. Especially, I think, with women, they want to believe that they can trust someone. I see it with Meredith. She has a lot of clients coming to her because she guarantees her service. She wants people that sit down in a chair that knows that, she has their best interests at heart and they just keep coming back because she knows if she doesn't get it right, she'll come back and she'll work on it and work on it until it gets right.
I'm not going to charge them too. Like if I need to redo, like,
she's not even charging enough. But I like, for me personally, I think it's about building those relationships up, you know, having those people believe in you, knowing that you're going to take care of them, and they just keep coming back. Yeah. For us, it's not all about the money. I'm not just saying that, because at the end of the day, like, yes, you want to make money for sure, right? But you just don't want to grab, you know, you want your clients to feel like you're doing the best for them, right? And when they sit in that chair, to me, I think it's the best when someone sits in that chair and they know that they trust you. Yeah. And you're going to make them feel even more confident, you know, at the end of the day. So again, I'm just coming back to you again. I'm happy for you. I just don't think you're paying enough.
Sorry, babe. Sorry to cut you off, babe. I want to know what your thoughts are on this. So I had a new consultation last week. She has one row, right? She said that it was NBR. I don't know if you've heard of that method of install. I've never done it. And she's saying, you know, like, I'm going to be honest. I'm like price checking, and I'm like, I'm not the person if you're trying to get a good price, right? You know, and she's like, no, that's okay. And I'm, you know, we're talking, whatever. And as I was like, I want to see how this NBR is. Let me just like lift it up. And as I was looking, I was like, oh my gosh, like I've never seen anything like this. Like the row was not straight. It was like going like that. She had traction alopecia like everywhere. It was terrible. And I was showing her the pictures. I was like, you know, you got some traction alopecia here, here, here. I was showing her all the things that I just didn't think was good at all. And then when I told her my price, she was like, I was expecting to pay a lot more. Let me tell you what she was paying. This lady was installing her hair for $1,200 a row. A row.
Well, I mean, I heard of, and you said NBR?
Yes, but a row.
Yeah.
Every 7 weeks.
That's insane.
I was like, how do you budget that? I was like, I need to charge more. She's like, I shouldn't have told you. I was like, I'm not going to do that to you, but like, how do people pay for that? And if you're paying for that, it better be immaculate.
But like, how do you feel when someone says to you that your price is not high? Like, do you go home and think about it?
Of course I do. And I'm telling them, I'm like, I need to up my prices instantly. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, but you know, when you hear someone, you know, tell you that, it does make you go home and think about it. But also, we're going back to that thing where when you want someone to sit in your chair, you want them to, you know, be able to trust them. Of course, you can end up raising your prices up at a certain time, but it's all about having that foundation, having that base, and working from there, right? So if you're just hearing it from a few clients, maybe a couple clients, where they're saying like, "Oh my God, like, your prices are like cheap," I
just had 2 clients like consecutive, like in 1 week. I was just like, and
two like, clients that are not your normal clients,
right? They were like, "Oh wow, you're really like cheap," and I'm just like it's kind of like an insult.
Yeah, no one wants to hear
that.
And 2,
like, I guess I have to change my money mindset too. Do you feel like that?
I do. When I hear that, I'm just like, oh, okay. So I was on Instagram, and this one person was like, so there was a braider. Now, you know, braiding takes time.
Yeah, I would never. My hands hurt.
It is like
just looking at it.
Such technique and like a gift, because everyone can't braid.
No.
And the girl was like, she's getting rich off of braiding. You know, when you braid, you have to charge appropriately, which is fine to me, because if you charge like $300 for one head and that's 6 hours, you're lowballing yourself.
That's not enough.
They're like, oh, you charging too much money, you know? Or she was like, why? Braiding is a side job. Why would you want to get rich off of a side job? And I'm just like, right. And in some states, you have to go to cosmetology school to braid hair.
Oh, you don't have to be... You can be a braider here and not have your hair license?
I'm not sure how it works out here, but I think you need to have your natural license, your natural hair care license.
What is that?
There's a specific type of license you need to braid hair in certain states.
Okay.
And I'm just like, it's not a side job. People choose to do hair, and it's a profession like anyone else. Oh, and they respond, and they're like, people go to school to get a real job that can actually help people.
Isn't that some shit?
Such a slap in the face. I'm just like, it doesn't matter the profession.
No, it doesn't.
Like, we're licensed to do this. Some of us get the extra education to continue to do it.
Right.
And it's like, we pay all this money. They don't know the ins and outs.
Do you think that $1,200 a row is expensive?
Yes.
That is great. If you ask me, that's crazy.
So when I went to Ohio last year for the Luna Method,
How'd you like that?
I loved it. I like the way that she educates because there's no guessing. Like, she doesn't leave any room for guessing. But she charges $1,000 an hour. And she wants it to be a silent appointment. She's like, if you talk... No, because if you're talking, you're going to take longer.
Yeah, that is so true.
Like, don't talk to me. Let me do your hair. This has to be perfect because this, like, I'm charging you $1,000 an hour, so I better give $1,000 an hour worth of work. It better be immaculate.
Right.
And I think that it's cool that somebody has that confidence to be able to do it because people are paying her. And
I somewhat disagree.
but you're not in our industry.
I understand that, but so, I'm going a little deep here. So sitting in a chair, right? You admitted, and like sitting in a chair, you could feel somewhat anxiety, right? But then I'm also going to say, like, as you sit here, you feel better, right? So there's something about the magic of sitting in a chair when you have humans coming to get service and they're sitting in a chair. Naturally, a human is going to want to find some way to connect. So when someone else is saying, "Hey, I don't want you talking," to me, I'm going to think that there's something going on with that person.
No, they
that
can go
person,
somewhere else then.
But the I don't know this person, but I'm going to go off a little bit and say that this person might not know how to communicate with people.
No, I
and this person might be good. Their love language might be good at doing other things, but when it comes to connecting with humans in a certain way, they don't know how to do that. So they created this thing where, hey, I'm good at my craft, I'm not good at this other thing, right? Whereas I can.
But she's not a robot. Like, you have to be.
She could be a robot. She could be, as a human, she could work, again, she could work a certain way with how she does things, and she could be good at her craft. But when it comes to service, like communicating with a human being, she might not be good about it. And I'm guessing the person that you're talking about, because I think I was there with you, I can understand why. I can understand why that individual does that.
All I know is if I can walk into a place and give them $1,200 to inject stuff into my face to look a certain way, and it takes 10 minutes, and it takes me at least 2 hours to install extensions, and you're like bitching about like a price, you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. Like, people have no problem spending a certain amount of money for some things, and then I think that it's just the way that our time is, and like the reputation of the hair industry. You know, it's not a real career.
Right.
You're not gonna make money being a hairdresser.
Right. And I feel like because of social media, they're like, now we get to see the lifestyles of hairstylists. And it's just like, I'm over here struggling. I went to school and I'm not making as much as a hairstylist. Why does a hairstylist get to make X, Y, and Z amount of dollars? But my thing is, you chose your profession.
You're just a hairdresser.
Right. You chose your profession. We chose ours, and it just so happens that it's lucrative. Like, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry that's still growing. So it's just like...
Yeah, the beauty industry.
So you other hairstylists, stop hating because...
No, it's not even hairstylists. It's other
consumers.
people in the... Yeah, like I see it on the Facebook forums. Like, how do these hairdressers think that they could charge that much? I would never...
Right.
Blah, 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 blah.
Like, why do hairstylists get to have six-figure salaries?
Well, I'm saying that because...
6 figures is not enough to live in today's society.
That is like...
I'm saying that because just along the way, being with Meredith, I can tell that it's competitive. You know, especially when other like hairstylists are looking at other hairstylists' work, and a lot of comparisons going on, a lot of hate going on. And you said it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Basically, I hear Meredith say this a lot. There's a lot of scalps to go around, but unfortunately, in your industry,
there's so many heads for
unfortunately,
everybody.
in your industry, you have a lot of shade. People will critique you or judge you or hate you. I tell Meredith, like, you want that. That's actually good to have people that are helping, because to me, that just means that they're jealous, right? That they can see where you were to where you're at now, and they're doing comparisons and they're hating. So I can appreciate hate because I know that they're just jealous of what I got going on, right? And going back a little bit, I'm not just saying this because, you know, you're my wife and I'm getting to know Asia. I'm saying you guys have something unique going on, right? Evidently you work in, you know, doing with textured hair, and you're really good too with doing European hair. And I know you're working on
She is the bomb.com.
That's
why I started to like follow her and everything.
She is,
Thank you.
especially with doing hair extensions. Like I see the detailed work. What to me as an individual looking outside in, you guys really want your clients to trust you, both of you guys. And it matters to people like us, not just females, but men too, that when we sit down in the chair, that we trust the person that's working on us to service us and doing a great job, and also being able to hear sometimes what we got to say.
Right.
Like you have people sitting down in your chair and actually, they want to be able to, I know you do, you have people sit down in your chair and they start talking. It just feels like it's almost like going to like a spa where, people are getting massages going on. Well, massages are different because they're actually quiet there because it feels so good. But it's the same thing, counseling, right?
Yeah, therapy sessions.
You're not just you're not just a hairstylist. You're
What
you're
is
a
that
counselor.
trend? Like, are we doing therapy today?
I know, right? Or is this a silent appointment?
You got to pay extra if you want the therapy.
Right.
So I'm kind of jumping ahead here to all the people that live in the Lehigh Valley area or out of bounds area, that because she has people coming from Philadelphia and all the way up in Poconos, that here's two individuals right here, right, that really care about the health of your hair. And they guarantee their services. They want to make sure, I'm not just saying this, they want to make sure that you guys feel great when you leave their chair. There are people out there, individuals out there, human beings that are out there that will just rush through the job, and you won't know it. You'll probably think that, oh my God, this looks good. Weeks go by and then you have like these red dots in your hair, or you can tell that there's some waviness in your hair extensions, and those things matter. So I would highly suggest that you guys look out for human beings like this. Make sure you're sitting down in a chair, especially if you're paying $1,200 a row.
Right.
You want to make sure the person you're sitting down in their chair, they're taking care of you. I just want to throw it out there. I appreciate both of you guys. I don't have hair extensions or.
Could you
get
imagine
my hair
charging
done.
that much?
I honestly, so like,
And saying it confidently.
If
like
I charge,
this look will cost you $4,000, including the hair with the install.
No, I wouldn't say that much. Gosh.
I know earlier we were talking about culturally, sometimes when you have like our people, when they're sitting down in your chair, I don't know if they nickel and dime you, but I can somewhat resonate because I think we struggle with some type of PTSD when it comes to being taken advantage of. We don't know if we can trust because we think that there's someone always taken from us, and again, people sitting down in your chair, right? Because you said it before, like about energy and all that stuff. So the women that are sitting down in your chair, they build a relationship with you where they're trusting you, and I personally believe that those people, that's your foundation, that's your base. And at a certain point, like, I don't know what your prices are, but I'm just saying the type of human that you are. You probably should raise it up a little bit. And the same thing with you too. Like the type of humans that you guys are, people want to be connected to humans like that, right? And I don't know you personally, but I can see in my wife's life that sometimes people take advantage of her just because of how much she cares, right? They don't want to sit down in chairs where women are just rushing through their hair. They want to sit down and sometimes they'll take advantage of it too. Like, oh, can you please just do this and that and stuff like that? And you guys might feel bad because you want to guarantee the services, and you'll say, oh my God, let me just work on this and do that. Yeah, you're making it right, but sometimes people, they take advantage of it. Yeah. And she has clients that are like that. You know who you are, I know who you are, and the prices are going to go up for you. I'm just joking, but I'm just saying, you know who you are. I see lists. I talk to my wife.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
I'm her protector. I mean, I appreciate your clients, but you care so much. Like, you can be taken advantage of just because you're so vulnerable. Like, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because
vulnerability is beautiful.
It is a beautiful thing, and that just tells me what type of human you are. That's what I'm saying. I'm going back to that, and just you opening up, and you guys are perfect for the industry that you guys are working in.
Thank you.
And you deserve to be millionaires, multimillionaires.
See,
right?
like you say that we're like perfect for the industry that we're in, but realistically, yeah, people complain about like not having the best experience that you probably would at our places, but they don't want that. They want the social media, queen or king with hundreds of thousands of followers.
Yep.
Not realizing the ones that have.
Well, those are the ones that charge $1,200 a row,
and they still want them because of who they are and who they service.
This person's social media, like, I don't even know if she has a social media.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, like, I I never met this lady personally, and I don't even. Actually, I do remember. I don't want to say it.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's just like, I feel like the Valley needs to know more of like women like us who like we have a standard and we actually care.
Morals.
And it's like if we had that, we'd have like a. I don't know how far out your books are like booked.
My whole career, I've only ever booked out at most a month.
And I feel like people like us need to be booked out a couple of months in advance because we care.
Do you know that could cost you money?
Really?
Yes. Britt Siva, you know who she is? Britt Siva? Oh, you got to get on her. So she does the Thriving Stylist podcast, and she does research on consumer behavior, but she teaches hairdressers how to make a living, right? Like and like at least 6 figures. Like she teaches you. I'll send you her podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
But where was I just going with this? What was I just saying?
I was talking about being booked out.
So she was saying that. Do you know Gina Bianca? Okay. So I listened to an episode between both Gina and Britt, and they agree on so much except this topic. Gina's like, no, I want to be booked out forever, blah, blah, blah. Whereas Britt is saying it can cost you a lot of money because if you have your clients that are, scheduling their next appointment, and then you're all booked up with those appointments, then you're booked out to the point where you can't take a new extension client or you can't take a new, because you make commission. Like I make commission off of the hair. So if you're booked out with all these color clients or, whatever services that you're providing, they're not at the top ticket,
right.
It could cost you so much money.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It could cost you so much. Like back in the day, you're like, no, you want to be booked out. You want to be booked solid. I want to be 6 months, a year booked solid with all of my bread and butter clients. But then you're losing out on opportunities to make hundreds of thousands of dollars with maybe not that much, but tens of thousands of dollars a year with clients that'll pay more because of the services that they're wanting to get.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, what makes sense here is the fact that you started off with no clients and now...
And now she's driving a Porsche.
Hello, where are we at right now? I'm just like, hold on, is this thing on right now? She just said something about being booked out. You're booked out enough, you got yourself a Porsche over there. I mean...
No, you'd be so surprised. Like, there are times where I'm just like...
But faith.
I gotta have
my faith.
Right, like
faith works. I mean, I say it all the time. I mean, we could edit this out too, but I'm the breadwinner, so.
Yeah, we're gonna edit that out. By the way.
Being no, seriously though, like it's a lot of pressure, and like when I don't see my books like completely filled, if it wasn't for my husband, like I don't think that I would be where I am because he's the one. Like you gotta have faith, you gotta have that. Like everything will work out. Like just trust, and. He's right. Like, everything always just does work out.
It definitely does, because I'm just like, I don't know how the heck I'm doing this. Like,
God is good.
I always think about everything. Like, my girls' godparents, we want to go away in a couple of weeks here. And I'm just like, okay, now I got to make sure I do my work so I could get a flight.
Yeah.
And it's just like, make it happen. And it's just like, dang, I make all of this happen, and I don't know how I'm making it happen.
You're just doing it.
But I'm making it happen.
You're just doing it.
Yeah.
Do you have plans with your salon, like to have a bigger suite? Or?
I would, realistically, I like sway between growing size or staying where I'm at. Because do I want to deal with the headache and the extra people? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot, I've heard a lot, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to deal with that.
Being in your own space, like it's really nice.
It
like
is.
Just having not being your own boss, not having to worry about other employees, and just like, whatever the case may be, like you leave your salon, like I don't know about you, but like at the end of the day, I don't clean up. I just leave.
That's me sometimes. I leave and I come back 30 minutes early the next day.
I leave for work an hour early every single day before my shift because I need to make sure that the mess that I left the night before is clean. Because at the end of my day, I'm like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
So if I had other coworkers, like I couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably not I need a curtain because everything is all glass.
Well, see, I just make sure my lace is all the way off.
Yeah, no.
And I hide certain stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about it. I just put it in the sink.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about it till the next day. Or just let my hamper overflow a little bit.
Yeah, that's nobody's business. Seriously.
Well, I don't know. Like, I was offered actually to be a co-owner for a salon.
Really?
And I had to think about it. Like, I really had to think about it.
Where at? I mean, you don't need to tell me the name or who,
it was,
but like the location, like in the valley here, obviously.
It was in the valley, literally 2 minutes away from where I was, but I felt uneasy, like the entire time. And then once I thought about it even more, you know, read the contract, realized the verbiage was off, and like I had to like nitpick certain things.
Did it benefit that person more than?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I was just like, you know what? I don't think this is going to be a fit for me. Mm-hmm. And what like...
Thank God you said that.
Right. Because once I said it wasn't, weight lifted off my shoulders. Mm-hmm. I felt so much... I was happier.
Yeah.
I wasn't stressed because if I would have signed it, we would have had to move a month later. And I was just like...
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're month to month, right?
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. So I was just like, and I felt better than I'm not.
Yeah.
That I stayed.
Yeah.
Because it didn't work out. So, yeah.
Life is crazy.
It is. It is. Would you want to expand?
I do. My dream is to be able to have like a salon, like either where I live, that way I don't have to pay as much, or like in the past I would always say like I don't want to show where I eat, I don't want to work at my house, like that's stupid. But everything is so expensive.
It is.
It's so expensive. Like, so I think that it would be cool if we were able to find land and have something where I don't need to pay all this extra money.
It is. And I feel like, I said to my mom the other day, I said, I left my job to work for myself.
Yeah.
But realistically, I'm not working for myself because I still got to pay somebody else.
I know.
Everything is just expensive.
It is. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's my dream. I think that it would be cool. What I was going to say is another suite owner where I work. She lives in another state and commutes, but she built a salon in her attic, and it's amazing. She's like, look at my commute to work, and she walks upstairs and opens up the door. And I'm like,
See, that's the life.
I know.
Someone I know left the suite to create space in her house, and she loves it.
Yeah. I guess as long as you have that extra or that access door that's not going through your house, and then, yeah.
And they will follow you.
Yeah.
They will follow you.
Yeah.
So kind of going off subject here, because you mentioned something about like your faith. Can you talk about your faith a little bit? You know, I always say to my kids, right, you know, the reason why you probably believe or have faith in something is because it's been passed down. You know, my parents were, you know, religious and Christians and all that stuff, and I'm sure that generation to generation. So, you know, how did you come to your faith and how you believe?
So my great-grandfather was a bishop. So everybody knew my family in the Bronx. They still know my family till this day, and it's just like, it's a small community, you know, Christians in the Bronx, Pentecostal. So,
so y'all Pentecostal?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a whole different ballgame.
I don't know anything about this stuff. Like,
it's a whole lot of tambourines, a whole lot of, you know, but it's more chilled now. It's not like how it was back in the day with the revivals, and like it's so much more chilled today. But my great-grandparents, I don't think it took me to like, I've always loved God. I've always loved church. It's all I knew. So I think it took me until I was in my teens to want to go to church for myself. Before that, it's the parents. So I think if it wasn't for my great-grandparents, my grandmother, my parents who are ministers and deacons, I honestly don't know like where my thought process would be with religion. You know, because there are Christians out there that are different than what I would. That too. That's religious.
Yeah.
Like, is religion, then there's relationship.
Right.
So, you know, my family they allowed us to make our own decisions when it comes to that. So, and my cousin and my sister's always like, you can't get any more tattoos because you're like the church girl of the family. Or you can't do X, Y, and Z because you're the church
You're the
girl of
good
the family.
girl.
Right. But at the same time, I'm just like everybody else, you know.
Sometimes I think, like, when I smoke weed, I'm like, is God mad at me?
You smoke weed?
But this is the thing, though. Like, there's no big sin, there's no little sin. All sin is the same.
That's what he says. I'm like, there's no way that me, like, calling someone a bitch is the same thing as me, like, killing someone.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
Get
like,
out of here.
All sin is sin.
No, it's not.
There's no. Yeah, God just sees it as it's a sin. It happened.
Okay.
He did it. You know.
Okay.
So I guess you gotta listen to him when he says that to you.
So so I grew up in an apostolic faith. It's along the lines of Pentecostal.
Yeah.
And so I get what you're saying when it comes to the type of style of churches are actually different. Because you can have like the church that we attend is called Faith Church, and the church you attend is called Shiloh Church in the Lehigh Valley area. And the way that Faith Church worships is different than how Shiloh
Well, I would
worships.
like to see what Shiloh is like.
Shiloh
do any
is
white people go to Shiloh?
They do.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They do. Definitely do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind being minorities.
No, they're there, and
Okay.
they get down.
I
just
went to
like the rest
Essence
of us.
Fest in New
How
Orleans.
did you
It was
like
so
it?
fun.
I cannot wait to.
It
I've
was
been
so fun.
saying the last few years that I want to go.
You would have so much fun.
Oh my gosh! Did you stay the entire time?
Yeah, it was back in 2017, and I went with my sister. I'm pretty sure we were probably the only white people there. It was so fun.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
No, it was so fun. It was.
I can't wait to go.
It was so
So we
fun.
can actually talk about it, and I could be like, oh yeah, I did this. Too,
Yeah,
you know?
it was, and just seeing like all these women, like just like being so empowered. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so, you would love
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
So you definitely have to come to Greater Shiloh then.
yeah, we should.
Can't make no promises.
I
So-
know the drive is like it's a drive.
Church.
If she's doing it, then we can too.
Well, church, a little bit about faith for me. Like church is different than church is different now than what it was back then. Church is more open to things than so. For me, culturally and historically, church used to be about discipleship and more of accountability. Now, church to me has just been really accepting of all things and just about numbers. So for me, I have a little bad taste in my mouth just because church is actually for where people come that are broken. And unfortunately, from what I see with my physical eyes, that the broken are still broken.
Babe, we're all broken.
And there's no like revival, right? And there's no healing. And some people do receive that healing. I'm not saying all churches are not doing this, but just a lot of churches that I've been involved in, that there is that discipleship, that helping you raise yourself to your higher self is not really there. So you have a lot of the sin nature in church, right? And it's just it's free flowing, because people will just say, I'm wake up, I'm go to church, and then I'm gonna go home, and then I'm right back into my hell throughout the 6 days that I'm out.
But that's where the relationship part comes in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just like if you don't have that, how are you able to know where you could like lean on?
That's right.
When you're going through certain times.
Right.
If you don't have that relationship, you just revert back to what you're used to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you share with us your, like, if I was someone out there and I listened to this podcast and if I want to get my textured hair done by you, how does someone find you? Could you give me like your social media, maybe your contact information? Can you spit that into the microphone right now?
Oh yeah. So my Instagram is Studio Studio.80.9. You're gonna spell out everything. There's no numbers.
Oh, so Studio dot and then
80.9.
okay.
Yeah, and then my TikTok, I'm sorry, I do not know that off the top of my head because I don't really care to use it. It's like a total different type of like.
I know, it's completely different.
It's so different. I
know.
feel like I use my TikTok to explain
Okay.
the difference between blow dry spray and heat protectant spray.
Right.
stuff more like an education type thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do people book with you? How do people get a hold of you?
So my booking link is in my bio link on my Instagram. So you
Okay.
could just click on it. My DM is always open.
Okay.
I like to respond to my clients, be personable with them. I do have a business line, but I do ask that you do not text me after like 6 o'clock
Yeah.
and before 9 in the morning.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do you have a website or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I feel like that's just like another thing to add to my list of things to do that I need to upkeep.
Well, if you're interested, I can give you my web designer's.
Cool.
He's not cheap, but I will tell you that he's the reason why my business is, because they
Really?
go on Google, and they look at the Google reviews and the website. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. Websites, especially in the times we live in now,
Right.
especially when it comes to business,
Like people like looking at, and Instagram is good, but people nowadays I feel like are Googling.
Okay.
especially when you have women, they want a certain hairstylist. So if I was a consumer and I'm someone that has textured hair, I'm going to Google like who does textured hair in the valley, right? So when I text it in, because you don't have a website, you're probably not going to come up at all.
Her
You might
Instagram
come up
might come up.
Your
Yeah,
Instagram
that's it,
probably
yeah.
will come up, but it'll come up at the bottom. But if you have a website, especially when you have people starting to click on your website, it'll now move you up to the top of the list. So as you start moving up to the top of Google for textured people in the Lehigh Valley area, now people are going to start coming onto the algorithms start picking it up. And then next thing you know, you got more traffic coming in to your website, and now people are going to be interested in that. So in today's society, that's how it's working. And she's probably quadrupled her clientele.
Oh, amazing.
From having a website.
But too, like
Google reviews are actually.
That's another thing that I was gonna say. Like after I work on a client, now obviously, do I want to say this?
Probably not.
Okay.
If you got to think about it right.
Yeah.
I'll ask them like if like you could just give me your feedback. Like here's the link. Can you please give me your feedback? Give me your honest feedback. And I've been really lucky that people have only been leaving me 5 stars.
Because you guarantee your services.
Yeah, and Google filters a lot of reviews out, unfortunately. But I had a couple of clients that would say, like, she didn't get my color right. But the thing is, like, she came back a couple days later and we finally got it and she really cares. But unfortunately, like, not all those reviews are up there because Google filters them out. But I think that it helps.
Something just jumped in my mind, by the way, and Tony, don't edit this. This is our lovely producer. So when we first started our business a couple years ago, someone decided to put a negative review on our website, and that's some real haterade right there. So I'm just telling you, some haterade, and Meredith, she was a little bit taken back.
No, I was pissed.
So she was taken
did it
back.
say?
So when I say taken back, hold on for a second. When I say taken back, she does mean pissed. I mean taken back because I don't let things like that bother me. I appreciate the hate.
every
Hold on for a second.
profanity word that you can think of came out of my mouth, and I even called my dad.
So we received like this negative
Meredith
Google
doesn't-
review from someone that has never even sat down in Meredith's chair.
She left me a 1-star Google review.
Just to leave that 1 star. So we actually had to, because you could actually open yourself up to a lawsuit because you're actually defaming someone's name.
I think I remember what she said verbatim.
Right. But so what I'm trying to say is, so Google reviews are important. And for Meredith, because I can speak on her because I'm married to her, that when you're getting those 5-star reviews, it's because that people are actually saying like, oh my God, yeah, when I'm sitting down in her chair, she's guaranteeing her services, so I can't give her nothing but 5 stars because that's the confidence that you're instilling in people. When you do see those people that are leaving like a 3-star, a 4-star review, it's because when they sat down in the chair, they didn't get the service that they were promised, and they feel some type of way. That hairstylist, I'm just hold on. That hairstylist, when the consumer leaves, the hairstylist is not guaranteeing that service. They're collecting that money, and they're going off. And even when you have hairstylists that are so busy, where they say, "Oh my God, I can't fix your hair. So just go off and just do something." To me, that's an issue for me, right? Because if you effed up my hair, then you should take the time to put it back. Now I got to go to someone else and to, you know what I'm saying? So those Google reviews matter, right?
But too, like, I don't expect 5 stars from every single client because I'm not perfect.
You don't have to expect it. It's what you deserve.
No, not necessarily.
Why?
So,
Why?
well, what I'm trying to say is, yes, I think that I'm a very good hairdresser and I do deserve like a 5-star. But if I look at a business and I only see 5 stars, isn't that a little, I don't know, like...
No, because I'm
Yeah,
only
I would say no.
I'm
Okay.
only eating at places that have a 4.8 or better.
Exactly.
I'm not looking at food places that have a 3.2 star. I'm looking at the food places that have like a 4.8 or better.
Same with the hotels. You want 4 or 5.
Well,
Right.
I feel confident. I have 63, I think, 5-star Google reviews. So
That's
that
great.
feels good, right? It does. And I think that back to you, having a website will definitely, like...
I have something else that I need to do and check off my list.
I'll give you the information.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, like, starting a business from the bottom, not knowing anything and anybody, is just like...
Yeah, I give you so much
feel
credit
like-
because I had him and he did everything for me. I'm not kidding. Like, he made
Well,
all
I
the phone
didn't do
calls.
everything.
He made all the phone calls. I didn't do anything. I just did the work.
I feel like, and I'm learning so much more now, and I'm just like, you know, maybe one day we all need to like just sit down, connect, and like open up a safe space for like other entrepreneurs to like learn certain things that they did not know before. Because some
Start a
people don't
Facebook
know.
group.
I thought about that, and like even like hosting some workshops, you
Yeah.
know, and bringing some like a CPA in, or like someone that could help you get your license to do certain things, or LLC. Because a lot of people don't know.
I see you sharing stuff on your Instagram stories, though, like how you're like with your group of girls and you're, you know, doing
Yeah.
whatever you're doing. What are you doing?
Oh, so those are my girlfriends. Those are my really good friends that I met out here, and we all do like total different things. One is a professor, another one works with pharmaceuticals, another one is in marketing.
Okay.
So just like, and we're the Black girls of Lehigh Valley.
Right.
So we come together, connect,
Right.
share ideas, and like
Just
try to
uplifting each
grow.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is so important.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Well, do you have any other questions?
I don't have any questions.
I was telling him, I was like, I'm so excited to interview Asia.
I was so nervous on the way here. I was just like,
Well,
oh my
no,
gosh,
I was
hope
like,
I say
because I
things
get
right.
excited. Like, I was excited to interview this other stylist, Nicole, because she, you know, of her work, and she works like 2 rooms down. And I don't know if I'm an extrovert, but I just was really excited to get to know you more. Like, I just wanted to get to know you more. So I was
Yeah.
telling him I was like really excited, and I got mad at you for forgetting about today, but he
We'll edit that
he
too,
made it
by the
up.
way.
But Asia, thank you for
you for
coming
having
today.
me.
Yeah, I am really blessed that, you know, we got to spend this time together. And thank you so much for, like, along the way, like, when I was reaching out, like, I just like that we're able to just like ask each other questions.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you'll text me, I'll text you,
Yeah.
and like you were like, "Hi, how did you say?" You were like, "Hi, I forget what the first thing was, and I didn't know your name." And I'm like, "I'm Meredith. What's your name?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm Asia."
Because I'm over here like, okay, I'm going to just shoot my shot and like hope that it works.
Yeah,
And you know,
yeah.
realistically, I'm an introvert.
And that doesn't surprise
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
I'm
doesn't.
just like,
I don't know what I am. If I'm high, I'm like, get away from me. But if I'm not, I'm like, oh yeah, let's talk. But
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to get a hold of Meredith, by the way, for mentorship programs, if you want to learn how to do hair
would you ever want to mentor people
I
too?
would absolutely love to mentor women.
That's another thing. We should include Asia on that too. I'm sorry, babe.
That's okay.
Well, everybody knows how to reach Asia, right? Like with the mentorship. Sorry, honey.
That's okay.
Sorry.
I'm used to it. So yes, if ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to, you know, be mentored by Asia or Meredith, obviously Asia went through her contact information. Also for Meredith, we will be coming out with online schooling for the young aspiring hairstylists in the area. To learn how to do hair extensions. So Meredith,
I cannot believe you're saying this
That
because,
is so
like, okay,
cool.
thanks. I don't know. We're still working on it.
we're not working on anything. So Meredith, how can the people out there,
you
especially
can-
especially if you know because the people that are aspiring to be great hairstylists, they want to be tutored by someone that, you know, that they can trust, that will actually raise them to their higher self. So in all honesty, for the humans that are out there that are learning or want to learn how to be hairstylists, how can they get a hold of someone like you through email, through phone numbers, or whatever social media platforms that you have?
Sure. Email, you can reach out to info@excolounge.com. That's EXCO
Lounge.
Oh my
ExCo
God.
Lounge.
Words are hard.
EXCO Lounge.
Thank you.
.com.
Thank you. Or you could reach out to me through Instagram. That's ExCo Lounge, or Facebook at ExCo Lounge, or my cell phone number, which is attached to my website. My website is www.excolounge.com. My information is up there, as well as my cell phone number. Right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
And,
I think that's a wrap. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And thank you, Asia, for
problem.
hanging out with us today.
Yes.
It was a pleasure to meet you. And,
I want to see your Porsche.
and blessings on you and your family
Thank you.
and your future. God bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
On everything that you do, and keep going. Continue to have faith, because it was faith that got you here. So never
Most
lose sight of
definitely.
that.
Yeah.
And keep your family close. And you seem like you have a core of friends. Keep them close as well, because if they're holding you accountable and you
Right.
guys are elevating one another, just keep that going on too. So good things for you coming.
Thank you.
know?
Thank you. And thank
Greater
you
in
for having
24.
me.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah,
I'm
thank
just
you so
like,
much.
What an honor to be on a podcast.
Because I want to just start interviewing people in the Valley in our industry. So I was like, who can I get on this? I was like thinking of all these hairdressers. I was like, I want you to be on here.
Thank you.
So yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. That's a wrap.